Alright guys, today we are going to be talking about something really serious today, and a very scary situation that I had to go through a couple years ago. I went through it very briefly in one of my previous videos, but I haven't really gone through any detail into it. I didn't put any detail into it. It was just a very skim through what happened. Today I'm going to be talking about me getting my house broken into, and it was a very scary situation. So it starts off just one normal day, I think it was, I can't remember if it's nighttime or if it was dawn. I don't really remember. But anyway, oh no, it was sunset and the sun was barely going down. And so what had happened was, it was about sunset. Me and my brother were lazy and so we went to bed early, like always. And honestly, I'm probably about ready to go to bed right now. But anyways, let's get back to the story. So me and my brother were asleep, right? Actually, I think I was out playing video games for a little bit, and I was the only one awake at the time. And then I think I played games for about like an hour, maybe, and then I went to bed. And then by the time I went to bed, the sun had went down. It was dark outside, and I lived in the south. And south areas are usually the bad spots. I'm not saying that all south is bad, but I'm saying most of them, and I know for sure mine was a bad ghetto area. So it was nighttime, right? Everyone was sleeping. My brother's a really heavy sleeper. I'm a kind of a light sleeper, and I don't know if my mom is just a very light sleeper with like massive hearing. I don't know. So it was nighttime, right? I would think it's about like maybe 10 o'clock-ish, maybe 11. I don't really remember, but it was late. I know that much. So just some random dude, we don't even know who, just came up to our porch and just, I guess he knocked at first, and my mom heard the knock, so she sort of got off the bed, but she thought it was just some Mormons and, those people that go around and like knocking on people's door and then talk to them about like religious stuff. Yeah, we weren't really part of the church, and so we always ignored them, and honestly we still do. After a few minutes, the knocking had stopped, and then apparently my mom was just knew that some dude was trying to break in because he had a crowbar and was just crunching at the door, trying to open it, because we always lock our doors. So, and if you don't, then you guys probably should start locking your doors, because areas like this isn't the best idea to have your doors unlocked, because then people could just easily walk into your home and kill your family. Okay, I'm not trying to scare you guys, but it's just a warning, because if my door wasn't locked, then the robber would have broken in and no one would have woken up and noticed, and he probably could have gone away with a whole bunch of stuff and possibly have killed me and my family. But the only weapon that this guy had, from what I know, is a crowbar. I didn't know if he had a knife or a gun or anything, but all I know is that he had a crowbar, but he could have had something else in his pocket. I don't really know. And this guy was just like going all out. He didn't have a mask. He just had a beanie on and a black jacket. He just had some slacks on, I think, or jeans. I don't really remember. I remember hiding in my closet, and my brother was just a lazy ass and he literally was just asleep in his bed. I woke him up, said that someone had broken into our house. But yeah, he's like, okay, and then he just fell back asleep. That's what he did. He could have died, and I was actually pretty angry. I'm like, okay, you're gonna die, and I'm not gonna care. Unfortunately for him, he did not get away with anything. And since I had neighbors living below, my mom was able to wake them up and have them call the police, and then they showed up a couple minutes later, and as in a couple, I mean like 10 to 15. Cops take forever to get to your house unless they're like right across the street or something. So before the dude left, my mom went up to him. I don't know what she was thinking, but she went up to him, and since he had a crowbar in his hand, I guess he panicked and he swung the crowbar, and I think the backside of the crowbar hit her leg, and luckily it wasn't the sharp part, because that could have done some major damage to her thigh, because that's where he hit her. So when the cops came, it took them about like 10 to 15 minutes, like I said. And the investigation didn't really last for too long, just saying. They came to our house, They asked some questions. They took pictures of my mom's leg because she had a huge bruise on her leg. Something that I didn't tell you guys before the story started was that my dad was basically a drug dealer, and he didn't make the best choices in his life, but that's what he chose. And when my mom told the police that that's what he did, the cops just assumed that it was some dude that my dad owed money to or something. And my dad has been gone since 2010, and this was a year later when the dude broke in. And so I'm not really sure why the cops are saying that, because what guy would want to break into some other dude's house because he owed him money a year later after he has passed away? Like, that just doesn't make sense, and I don't get why the cops just didn't understand that. And my mom was telling them that, but I guess they just didn't seem to care. They didn't seem to listen. They just wanted to stick with one conclusion, and that was the end of it, because I think those cops there are just really extremely lazy. They didn't really want to continue the investigation, I guess, which really sucked, because that means the dude got away. Well, I mean, he went away with probably a lot of criminal records. So the cops are just shrugging off a guy that should be in prison for like 10 years. That's it for today's video. That's all that happened. My mom was hurt. She didn't have to go to the hospital or anything because it was just a bruise. Nobody else got hurt. I didn't get hurt. My neighbors didn't get hurt. The only person that sacrificed their life, well, I mean, she didn't die, but was my mom. She risked her life just to keep us safe. As in us, I mean the kids. So if you guys enjoyed, please make sure that you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will see you guys in my next video.